Hey everybody, this is Jason, Zombie Collector. I thought I'd go live a little bit. We're going to see if this works. So we will see if this will work. I'm doing a little bit of a Bob Lewis. So we'll see using the hotspot on my phone. So we'll see if that works. It may not work. I'm not gonna lie to you. It may not be something that I can continue to do, but I'm gonna try. So if I have anybody popping on here, that'll be great. We'll see how things go. This is definitely a test run, a maiden voyage. So hopefully we'll get some people in here and we'll talk, see if this hotspot on my phone will work, and we'll go from there. So, yeah, it's been kind of crazy. I don't know if it looks like it says I'm live, so that's good. I'm hoping it's not cutting out or being wonky. So if anybody's on, if they can say, "Hey, I can hear you, I can see you. It looks good. You look good." That's great. If it's a problem, I'm just doing this and it's not working, then I'll probably obviously turn it off. But we'll see how things go over the next minute or two. And then if it's worth staying on and keep on trucking, great. If not, I'm going to hop off because I don't want to talk to a computer that's not working and it's cutting in and out, or it's an overall terrible experience more than usual. Oh, hey, all right, Monsters of the Midway. Hey, what's up, brother? And what's up, Bob? Bobby Lou, Looby Booby. I'm taking a page out of your book, Bob, and I'm using my phone as a hotspot to access my laptop so I can have internet. So I'm hoping it works. It may be a little bit shoddy if it cuts out or goes off or whatever. Then I guess this wasn't as successful, but I'm going to try to do it. And because if you do it right. If you're doing it and doing it right, doing it right. Welcome to the 20th century. Yes, 20th century, not the 21st century for sure. Going in the 20th century, baby. Before long, I'll be hooking up my Juno account along with my AOL Mail, and I may even break out some Napster and download some music. Completely legal downloading of music from Napster, for sure. But yeah, I guess it's gonna work. That's good. I was a little bit hesitant. I was cautiously optimistic that it may work. And yes, hey, what's up, Victor Negron? Yes, I'm gonna start my MySpace page back up. That goes without saying. Did you know I'm a Pirates fan? Did you? I did. I heard at least once down the road that you were a Pirates fan. But remember when MySpace was all the rage and your best friend was Jesus? Those were the good old days. You got to think like that didn't seem like weird or off-putting. I would think by most people that out of the gate, like Jesus was your best friend on MySpace, and now people would probably be literally so fired up if they had an automatic friend and it was Jesus as on their friend list. It just seems like so archaic, and it was only like what 15 years ago, if that. And that feels like it was literally like 3 decades ago. It's kind of weird. Tom, I think always was your first dude. You're right, but Jesus worked in there. You could like download or add Jesus as your best friend. It seems so weird. But yeah. Oh, there was a break tonight? No one told me about no breaks. I'll be breaking somebody's legs. They didn't tell me about no breaks. That's some racism going on there, dude. Nobody's telling no breaks. I'm over here breaking 1990 upper decks. I'm so bored. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Jesus should be your homeboy. So what break was it? Was it baseball? Was it baseball, and who did it? Because I'm gonna come at you, Bob, and come to Pittsburgh again and whoop your butt. Hey, what up, John? Johan. What is up? Juan Mangini. I think you should do that, dude. I think you should change your title to Juan Mangini, the Mangini collection, and just show some Juan cards with Juan, like Juan Gonzalez, Juan Solo, some people like that. Oh, then yeah, never mind. It's Donruss 2020. I don't. Never mind. Thank you. I stand corrected. I don't want to be involved in that box break, so that's fine. Oh, that's cool, John. His son's part of your group. That is awesome. Is Bob a part of your Pirates Facebook group? Bob, you need to make that happen. If you're not, you think you would join a Pirates Facebook group. It might be a good place to unload Pirates cards or pick up cards you may need. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box here. Vogue, 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 Vogue. So yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, man. There's been a lot of new. I've been watching lots of new channels more and more regularly. I haven't been making comments because of the whole. My phone is wonky. Like apparently, I can turn my phone on to a hotspot after I hit my certain gigabytes. Then it cuts me down to be like really slow internet on my phone, and then it lets me have unlimited data, but it's slow. But it lets other devices connect to my phone so I can watch things on YouTube or whatever. But I can't use my phone to like watch YouTube on my phone or like really use Facebook or eBay that smoothly. It's all like really slow, like it's like dial up. But it works if I want to connect to my TV, YouTube, or this thing right here. So it's hard for me to comment now because I can't pull up the videos on my YouTube channel on my phone and like make comments. So I've been watching lots of people's videos, but I can't comment. So I just give a thumbs up and watch the video. So it's making me crazy because I like to comment. I'm a commenter. I'm a color commentator, but I'm not colored like that way. I mean, I'm color commentator. I don't want people thinking I'm racist. Lord have mercy if somebody goes and says that. Woo! That's awesome, John. I'm going to do that and just show off nothing but Bobby Bow cards. I'm just going to do nothing but a run of Bobby Bow cards in your Pirates group. If you accept me into the group, I'm just going to show Bobby Bow cards and Andy Van Slyke cards, but only when he was playing for the Cardinals. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's hilarious. You're definitely colorful. Yes, I am. I'm a what is it? I'm a bird of many colors or something like that. For sure. If it is, I'm sure it's a place you can vent about your Pirates like always like trading away their best players. I am sure it is. Victor, you know, I have stopped watching a lot more channels that I used to watch. I can tell you that much. I've kind of moved away from a lot of the guys that's been established. There's only a handful of guys I'm really watching pretty religiously. I'm watching a lot of newer guys. I'm enjoying the newer guys. I feel like they've offering new stuff, like Vintage Card Steve, David M. Who else is there? Classic Cards, to name a few. I've been watching those guys' channels. So yeah, I'm enjoying some of those guys' channels a lot more recently than watching some of the big boys. So, oh, that's cool. You had a lunch with him. That is awesome, dude. So cool. What do you all talk about? Can you say it out loud in public? That's awesome. Yeah, if you bought a card from Bobby Bow, 20 years, man, he'll probably be getting his grandkids will be still getting those paychecks. That's crazy. That is crazy. So, John, let me ask you this. You may not want to do this on your channel because, and I'm not, this isn't like I would love for you to talk about it in detail, not necessarily in texting or messaging, but like on your channel. But you are a guy who obviously through your job, profession, just being at the right place at the right time, your hobbies, whatever, you've met a lot of people, celebrity type people, sports people. I know you said your wife like you is or was something to do with like the what do you call the vitamin supplemental GCA or GMC or J at PGA Tour or something, IGA. But anyways, you met a lot of people who were like, celebrity type folk, sports or whatnot. Have you ever met anybody, John, that you were really excited to meet, or not maybe even excited, but just like, oh, that'd be cool to meet this person? And you know how they say you don't want to meet your heroes and they completely let you down? Was there anybody you ever met that after you met them, you were like, man, that guy was such a douchebag, such a jag-off. Like, I should never met him because now I have a bad taste in my mouth about this dude. Have you ever had that experience with anybody that you're willing to share? Oh, GNC, that's what it was. I knew it was something like that. Oh, that's cool that you said that about Ken and he didn't even remember. That is awesome. You should have had him sign a jersey with the number 50 on it. That would have been awesome. GNC. In the county or the town next to me, there's a school called GRC. That's my only connection to the term GNC. I know Bob will tell you out of the celebrities he's met that I'm the one who's let him down the most. It would definitely be, he would say that YouTube content creator extraordinaire Jason Payne has definitely let me down the most out of all the celebrities I've met. And I just want to keep it real. If you put it up too high, you're never going to hit that top. You got to bring it down low. So when you do get halfway, people really expect that. People are really surprised by that. If you set it too high, you can never hit those expectations. No question. Well, that's good that you've never met anybody who's ever let you down. That's awesome, dude. That's really great. I can say as far as the thing that bothers me the most about baseball players, because that's what I can speak to because I've been to more baseball games, is when, and I know that I know baseball players, during the game, it's not even a realistic thing, but before the game, you're there an hour and a half before the game, like right when they open the gates, they're just sitting around talking or stretching, and they're not doing anything. And you're like one of only like a handful of people at the wall, like right next to the dugout or whatnot. And when they act like they don't even hear you, like they just ignore you, that just irks me. I know it probably can come across as a quasi petty, but not to even acknowledge fans. And I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking about kids. It just really bothers me that people like ball players just don't even acknowledge fans when they're like literally 5 feet from them and they don't say a word to them. They don't even say, hey, thanks. I appreciate it. I can't sign right now. I'm busy. I don't want to. You're going to take my autograph and put it on eBay, whatever you want to say. But it's something opposed to just straight up just complete silence, like they're deaf or something. It just is mind-boggling. That irks me more than anything. To have kids is blown off because I'm down there a lot when I'm down there with my son Luca, at least when he used to do it more. And it just irked me that people just blow him off. It just, not just him, but all the kids. It wasn't just my kid. It was like all the kids was like, yeah, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. So. And they're just like, and they don't even have anybody to talk to, nothing. They're just still just being a jag-off. Oh, that's cool about Bob Friend. That is awesome. You used to drink with Bill Mazeroski? Man, look at this. Man, I knew you had a hitting lesson with Willie Stargell. I remember you mentioned that on your channel. That's very cool, dude. Man, if I wore my shades, I wouldn't even be able to see the comments. I'd be like literally a blind man walking around. I would look like Ray Charles. I'd be like a white Ray Charles in here. What's up, CC? Well, that's cool. You sit next to Mario Lemieux, and then I tell you like those things, and then you have people like, I know I've told this before. Starling Marte was really nice to my son during a baseball game. Chris, what was it? What's the guy's name who? What's the pitcher for who used to play for the Tampa Bay Rays? He plays for the Pirates. Chris Archer. He was really awesome to my son. He was really funny, joking with Luca. That was awesome of him. Trey Mancini was really good to my son. He was joking with my son. So, I mean, Chris Archer, thank you. I couldn't remember. I mean, he's unfortunately not really worth remembering. I mean, he might be a great guy, but, man, his time in Pittsburgh has not been very successful. But some of those guys are the ones I remember because they were so kind to my son. Without a doubt, they took the time to talk to him and chat him up a bit, sign a baseball. Those things you remember for sure. I bet it was awesome, for sure. So, anyways, those times out. It's cool to see. I remember specifically it was Ichiro's last season. He came with the Marlins. Well, his last full season, because after that season he got let go, and then he played for the Mariners for the last 2 years. But his last quote unquote full season with the Marlins, they came to Cincinnati, and he has a very specific routine he does every game. And we were there at the very beginning. I'm over there, and he's I can almost probably reach out and grab Ichiro. He was that close to us. And I was asking him in Japanese if he would come over and talk to my son or sign an autograph. And I remember him just completely ignoring all of us talking to him. It was unbelievable. I was so upset because, he wasn't rude. He just we weren't there, and it's just mind-boggling. And then, by the way, I'm talking to him in Japanese, by the way. It's not like I'm yelling at him in English, and he's been in America for 20-plus years, so it's not like he doesn't understand the words. Can you please come over? Can you please sign this? He knows. But, I mean, I was doing it in Japanese, and he's still and I was really disappointed. That's probably one of my biggest disappointments was that, he was right there. He was so close, but yet so far away. It's oh, my gosh. I mean, he was definitely one of those guys, the superstar type attitude of, I'm not going to stop doing my routine for the fans. I'm just going to ignore you all. I'm going to be right up next to you, but I'm not going to acknowledge your presence. It's very frustrating. Giancarlo Stanton was the same way. He was completely ignored you when you were trying to talk to him. He was I have nothing to do with you. That was unfortunate. And so, I mean, some of those guys just kind of sucks. You want to see the Mancini collection or you want to see the Mangini collection? Hey, way to go, John. Busting out all the Japanese. Man, you've been doing crazy on those Japanese cards, guys. You got to go to, if you haven't yet, you need to follow the Mangini collection on Facebook and then go to his YouTube channel. He's been on fire buying lots of Japanese cards, and he shares a little bit of information with everybody with the cards he's got. I mean, he knows way more about it than I do now, so it's been pretty impressive. I really enjoy watching him get those Japanese cards, that's for sure. So is Sandaharu a player and a card set? Sandaharu is a Japanese baseball player. Actually, I don't think he's Japanese. I think technically he's Korean. But that's a little dirty secret about Sandaharu. In Japan, being of Chinese or Korean descent is kind of a negative thing, especially back then. It was kind of like being black, I guess, in America or Hispanic in some ways. it was kind of like a dirty thing to be if you're trying to pass yourself off as a white person in America during the olden days. And Sando Haru kind of falls in that category, I believe. So anyways, but I think he is Japanese, or his dad's Japanese. Somebody's Japanese, or he took on a Japanese name. There's something there, but I don't believe he's really Japanese. But he is well loved by Japan because it benefits them to make them look good. Anybody who makes them look good, they accept. Anybody who's not, they're like, oh, that person's not Japanese. It's one of those things that happens. So, oh, is he Chinese? Okay. I thought it was Korean, but that might make sense. Sando Haru is Japanese, so I figured it might have been closer to Korean, but okay, there you go. Oh my gosh. Dude, Monsters of Midway. What is your first name? I used to go that restaurant also, man. That's awesome in Evansville. My family and I used to go all the time in the late 80s and the early 90s. It was called Madeline's 23. And they're in Evansville. That's so cool, man. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm a Hoosier. Are you from Indiana as well? That's cool. If you're from Indiana, that'd be awesome. Maybe we have to try to meet up sometime. Konomichi wa masugu itekitasu. Toteke kadasai. Konomichi wa masugu itekitasu. Tomate kadasai. Owensboro, Kentucky. Oh, that makes sense. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, Madeline's 23. That's it. John, I'm not for sure, and I'm not for sure. Tomate kadasai. Konomichi wa masuguti tekitasa. I'm not for sure what you're trying to say there. I apologize. I'm sure it's me. It's not ringing a bell when I'm saying it out loud. Well, good. I'm glad it was working for you. Are you being serious? His real name is Wang? Wang O? I just remember when I was in Japan, the Japanese talk about it on a regular basis when I was living there. They were like, oh, Sando Haru, he's Japanese, but really he's Chinese or Korean, I guess. I didn't realize that. So 3,000 hits is Korean. Oh wow, I did not know that. That's amazing, John. About the Japanese ball player who had 3,000 hits. That's awesome. And hey, what's up, Sean? My brother from another mother. Yes, Sean and I. Don't tell anybody. We practiced some social distancing last week and got together and hung out. So it was really good to have some social interaction. I mean, we kept our hands to ourselves, so there wasn't anything weird going on. But it was just nice to hang out and just like goof off a little bit with a friend for a couple hours. We need to do that again soon, buddy. We need to do that again soon for sure. That's what I thought it was saying. It was something about taking a right, but I was like, why would you tell me that in this? I was confused. I thought it had something to do with this. I guess it's all about context. And I'm sitting there reading that, and I was like, I know because Migi is right. So, Masugu means right. Sorry. So I was like, Hono means you all. Like, go straight, take a right, please. That's hilarious. And then, what was it? Stop. And then, yeah. But I was so confused at what I was reading. I'm like, how does that have to do with ball? It was just about the context, but thank you for clearing it up. Okay, that's cool. Like I said, I know that just like the Japanese sumo wrestlers, most of them now are not Japanese, or most of them are from Mongolia, and they all have to become Japanese citizens. They all have to change their names to Japanese names, and then when they become Yokozuna, they can say they're Japanese Yokozuna still, because they don't want a foreigner to be a Yokozuna, even though they're technically foreigners. They're foreigners by birth, but not by nationality. They're Japanese. So you see that a lot happening in Japan. That's the reason why a lot of these ball players, if you're not like Asian, they don't let you like break certain records. They keep you from doing it. They'll send you back to wherever you're from, or they'll bench you, or they'll stop throwing to you so you can't get certain kind of hits, so you don't break any kind of Japanese records. So it happens a lot. I know our secrets are shh. We gotta do it. Hey, Dave, what up? Dave likes cheese. Who doesn't like cheese? I mean, I didn't get this fat from not liking cheese. I can tell you that much. I had to memorize it for a test. Yeah, I was wondering. That's like mi burro sabe más que tú. So I think that means my donkey is smarter than you. And I remember having to like memorize that every day at school, like in a junior or a sophomore in high school. Mi burro sabe más que tú. I'm like, that's something like I'm never going to use in real life, but I remember having to memorize it. Oh, that's cool. That is awesome, dude. I remember Gung Ho that has Getty Watanabe in it, and I like him. He's a good actor. He was Long Duck Dong, and then Michael Keaton, of course, is in Gung Ho, which is I like Michael Keaton. It's one of his surprisingly straight roles, and I don't mean that straight like he's playing a straight character. It's not really much comedy in it, so I really do enjoy that. Henry S. Dude, oh, Henry, I want to tell you, I watched all your videos today. I got caught up over the last 2.5 weeks. I didn't make any comments because, like I was saying earlier, I can't access the comments on my phone anymore. I can stream it on my TV, but I can't make comments. So I just want to let you know, I loved all your new videos. I love the soda pop video with all the different bottles that you did. That was cool. You shouted me out, so thank you for shouting me out on your video as always. Because you had a Christian Yelich card. I just want to let you know I did watch, so I tell you those things. And then you're like pulling lots of those yellow cards, baseball cards from the Donruss packs, I guess at Dollar Tree or whatnot. So I've been really watching your videos. I really enjoyed that you had that bike one that you're riding around on the bike. That was cool. So anyways, man, I just want to let you know I've been watching. I gave you thumbs up, but I wasn't able to make comments. I didn't want you to be like, what the heck, Jason? I comment on every one of your videos. You can't come over here and do the same. But I really appreciate it, brother. I love your videos. Your style is like by far the most unique, and I really dig it. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. Yes. So here's my pickup line. You really. So anata wa means you totemo really, you really zatoichi kirei. Oh, are you really pretty? Oh, so you're saying they're really pretty, you're really pretty, I guess. You're very pretty. Is that right? Did I read that right? Did I pass my Japanese test? Yeah, that's kind of how I am too. That's my hotspot. Like I was telling people before, it doesn't let me comment. It just lets me watch. So when I get my regular data back on my phone for the next month, I'll have my normal like 9 gigabytes back, and then I'll be able to comment on my phone again. But right now, it won't let me do it. Yeah, see, I was right. Yes. So I didn't completely fail you. You probably were like, I wrote you a sentence in Japanese and you couldn't read it, Jason. What's wrong with you? You don't really understand Japanese, but now, thank God, at least somewhat redeemed myself. That you're like, okay, all right, at least you got that much. Yes. So, yes, I have not completely failed you as a fellow Japanophile. Oh my goodness! So I had a topic actually, guys. Today I was gonna topic that really is not COVID-19 related. It's something that came across my phone. Hey, what up, NY New York Yankees fan? Oh, man, dude, I love your channel, man. You're another guy I just really enjoy watching. I know you have, I think, quite a few subscribers, but I really like your stuff. I don't feel like anybody ever in my group of people that I run around with never really talks about you a lot. But I really love your channel, dude. You keep it short and sweet. You have just an amazing collection. Just keep on keeping on, brother. I really dig your collection. I'll even stop and watch sometimes your basketball stuff, and I'm not even a basketball fan really. And I'll watch it because I'm like, man, dude, like you just have really great stuff. You're hilarious. So keep it up, dude. I just love it, man. It's awesome. Keep it up. Yeah, Henry, I did go to, well, in Japan, the part of Japan I lived in, if there was card shops, I could not find any, but there were a lot of shops that were kind of like Toys R Us's. They were like hobby shops, and they had baseball cards in those places, and you could buy packs, and you could buy wax, you could buy singles. It wasn't a whole lot, but you could find them, and they were pretty readily available. And then they had secondhand shops. In Japan, they're called recycle shops. That has a lot of like hobby type stuff, and you could find ball cards there as well. But mostly like the Toys R Us places. They're kind of like a mix between Toys R Us and like what do you call like when you put cards together, I have a card, you put it together. I forgot what that term is. Or people do airplanes, like models, like airplane models and car models. It was like a mix of like those kind of like models that you put together and like a sports card thing. And most of the malls in Japan. So I would be able to watch them there. So that's what I would do. Anata wa Ichiban Zombie. Yay! I'm number one. Ichiban. Woo! Kirin Ichiban. Very good. Yes. You know, it's funny because I do like Ichiban beer, but my favorite Japanese beer that's not a craft beer, but you can find in America pretty easily is Sapporo. That's my favorite Japanese beer. But I like Kirin. I like Ichiban. There's, I don't know, a couple different variations, I'm sure, of that stuff. But I like Sapporo. That's my favorite. But again, you know, if it's wet and it does the job, then I could probably be a fan of anything, especially in Japan, because their craft beer scene after I left has blown up. But when I was living in Japan, if I would have said anything about a craft beer or an IPA, the Japanese would have been like, Wakarimasen. Wakarimasen America Jin. Nande monai yo. They'd be like, there's nothing here. I don't understand. What are you talking about? Foreigner. Get out of here with that. No, beer. No. Now they're all about it. I see all my friends posting all these beer, like, you know, craft beers. And I'm like, where was this at 10 years ago, 12 years ago? I'm like, come on, man. So yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, most of the card shops are probably going to be in Tokyo, I would say, or Osaka, the two biggest cities in Japan, where you're going to have a bigger population and they have more baseball clubs there. And we're in Fukuoka, which is where I live. There's one team. And I mean, baseball is popular in Japan, but if you think we have a subset or like a very small niche community here, think Japan is even like smaller than that. So you have to think about those kind of like collectors. It's even a smaller group than that. So bigger cities are going to have more options for sure. Yes, number one. Of course it is. Yeah, Suntory. Has anybody ever seen the movie Lost in Translation with Bill Murray and ScarJo? Filmed and directed by Sofia Coppola. That's a great entry into Japan movie. I honestly think it's very much it's probably the best movie ever made as a foreigner in Japan by far. Like it shows Japan through a foreigner's eyes. It was very well done. And I highly recommend that movie if you have not seen it. If you really want to get a good feel of Japan and that's kind of like otherworldliness that Japan is, the movie does a bang up job. I personally believe so. Highly recommend that movie. But the reason why I say it always Bill Murray's like for what did you say for a fun time, Suntory time or something like that. That was like his thing for every time, make it a Suntory time. But yes. Love the malt, yes. Hideo Itomi a year ago. I pulled an Ichiro from a. Oh, that's cool, Henry. Pulling an Ichiro from a pack would have been awesome. Yeah, I always try to buy some packs in Japan of Japanese ball players because they were actually cheaper than the American cards, as you would expect. And never pulled. I pulled, I think, like one or two Nomos out of Japanese packs, but I never pulled an Ichiro. Like in Japan, and everything. So it was like crazy. Whoa, Troy Reuter, what's going on? TTM Tony, the man, the myth, the legend. I just got a text. Let's see who it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck. That's a little bit more Hollywood, but it also is a great it's more Hollywood in the aspect of kind of like if you're a baseball player, like that world which none of us will ever know. The way, but it does have a lot of similarities to the way the real Japanese work in that world. But I would say that's probably a close second, though. That is very true. Mr. Baseball is a good movie when it comes to the foreigner going in Japan for sure. But I still think Lost in Translation is definitely by far the best. If you want a true representation of that movie, that's a really good one. Because it's filmed from the foreigner perspective and looking at Japan. And if I had never been in Japan before, when I watched that movie, it would have been a great way to kind of understand what I was getting myself into or about to get myself into. Oh, T Rizzle. Oh, Ron Fig, what up? Yeah, Ron Fig is in the hizzy. We're getting some of the heavy hitters up in here. Oh my gosh. Well, aside from myself, of course. I mean, that goes without saying. But some of you other heavy hitters in here, that's awesome. For sure. So yeah, man. But I had a topic I actually want to talk about. So today, if some of you all haven't noticed, that Rob Medford released the Kraken, or should I say, more like just released a few crackers against the Red Sox and pretty much said, like their media specialist boy is the only one who's really in trouble. And the Red Sox lost a draft pick. So they said it wasn't that big of a deal, that it wasn't as egregious as the Astros, and that pretty much everything gets to go back to normal. Like it never ever happened. Except for the media guy or whatever you want to call the playback guy lost his job for the next 2 years or something. But everybody else gets to just keep on keeping on. And then I was realizing that nobody is getting any kind of trouble with the Red Sox, the managing staff. Nobody's really going to get in trouble. And it's all going to pretend like it never happened. They said that because the percentage of the cheating was only at about an 18% cheating that was going on, that it wasn't that bad. So the transgressions weren't as bad as like literally, I guess, the Astros that were doing it like every time or as much as they could. I saw they said it was like 18.7% or 16.7% chance of them cheating throughout the entire, I guess, year or whatever. So apparently it's okay to cheat, but you just have to keep it under 20%. So from now on, you can cheat in baseball, but there's actually a percentage that they cut you off at that goes not as bad to very bad to we'll pretend it didn't even really happen to your banned from baseball, I guess. That is true. That's very true. So it's no staph infection. No, there's no staph infection. And what makes me more just upset about it, in my opinion, which doesn't get me much, not even a coffee anymore, is that, and again, it teaches people that you can cheat and it's okay. And that they're also saying that the management and all the higher ups had no idea. They had no idea what was going on. It was just the lowly video operator guy and a few players. I mean, how stupid do they think that we all are? I guess they think we're all pretty stupid, because are you telling me that the manager of the team, the bench coach, the pitching coach, the hitting instructor, the first base and third base coach, all the other people in between didn't have any idea that was going on? That nobody was, the guy that was doing the filming and showing the cameras and showing the TVs and issuing out the signs, nobody knew that was going on. And only a handful of the actual players were involved, which they're never going to say who they all are because they get immunity by coming clean. I wish that you could be at your job and talk about how you did really shady stuff, and then not only are you not fired, you're rewarded by it. I wish we all lived in a world like that. Now, that's different than a whistleblower who would rat somebody else out for doing something unethical and then worry about losing their job so you don't get that blowback on you. Like, that's a different thing. This is, they're ratting on themselves to be transparent to MLB, but then nothing happens to them. They're all rewarded. They're all going to keep their contracts, their multi-million dollars, their rings, and whatever else. Everything gets to stay the same, like nothing ever happened. What other job can you do that at, where you can rat yourself out and talk about how much of a scumbag you really are, and then get to go, oh, you know what? I get to keep my job. I get to just pretend it never happened, and when you go back to normal, like it never happened. It's as baseball fans, we should be so pissed off that we're being treated like some kind of petulant child that can't understand and doesn't get the deep psychology of what's going on here. I mean, it is ridiculous. I got to read some of these quotes, or these comments. Yeah, maybe we should have Pete Rose manage the team. I mean, he would be the best person. I mean, a cheater knows how to cheat. You forgot the Red Sox are in the team. How has everybody else? I hope they suck as hard as the Houston Astros for a long, long time. Maybe both of them will have like 100-year droughts on their playing. Yeah, well, I don't think they'll be forgiven, Henry. I think Houston still has a problem. You see what I did there? Houston have a problem. I think Houston has a problem even when the baseball comes back. But it's probably not going to be as bad as it would have been. They got lucky that, I don't want to say a killing virus is lucky, but they really did work out to their benefit that happened, because it took a little bit of the sting away, I think. We'll see. They were getting hammered through February and March until everything stopped. So we'll see. The Oilers are still around. Ugh. All right, let's see right here. Do Portland. I don't think baseball would have been in trouble per se. I don't think so. I think that if anything, it might have gave them an uptick. People love drama. People love seeing how drama's going to get played out. I think anything, there might have been an uptick in, especially if the Astros came to town. With the Astros, people love hate on teams that, everybody, watching somebody fall from grace is a favorite American pastime. Everybody loves to pile on. It's a common practice here, even in this community, if we all know what we're talking about, that it's a pastime long loved. So I mean, they always say, yeah, they're gonna watch you get beaten. That's for sure. Yo, that was no accident, Steve. What's up, brother? Yo, and hello. That's a quote that would definitely let you know how people love to watch the mighty fall. So, but I mean, the thing about it is that baseball fans are idiots because you have so many people, and I know this is going to upset people and piss them off, but what's new with me and my channel? But baseball fans, unlike football fans, who surprisingly, when their players did the whole kneeling thing, people left in droves. People lost their minds, which I thought was great because you know what that meant? This meant that the only thing that companies care about, which is the greenbacks, freaked the companies the crap out because they lost promotions, they lost commercials, they lost fans, they lost merchandise, they lost all kinds of money and attendance and TV viewership. All that just stopped for like a year and a half. It was just like until they got their players in line to either stop it or not come out stuff so they can finally get it over with. But guess what? Football fans were like not having it. But Major League Baseball fans are idiots. We love that we put cheaters up in limelights. Pete Rose, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Juan Gonzalez, Rafael Palmeiro, all these guys, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, all these guys get put up in big lights, cheaters, Astros, everybody gets to keep on playing, and we just keep on eating it up like pigs eating slop. No one actually cries foul. No one actually stops being a fan. No one actually stops sending their money or spending their money. No one stops buying the merchandise. No one stops actually going to the games. They just keep on going. They're just like, keep feeding me more slop. It's just ridiculous. And that's the reason why the Red Sox, that's the reason why the Major League Baseball just keeps doing it to us. Because no one actually gets, upset enough as a whole to say, no, this is not enough. The only time that's ever happened was the 1994 World Series not ever happening when they did their strike. That's it. That is it. Every time, and people keep saying, well, it's never fully recovered since then. But whatever. The fact of the matter is that we as fans are morons. And we will go ahead and just keep on taking and getting crapped on because that's what we want to do. We want to make excuses for our heroes and our teams to just kick us in the nuts because we don't actually have any we don't have a moral compass anymore. We don't have any values. It's okay to, really, if you think about it, it's like my favorite player, let's say, was Jose Altuve, which I loved. I have stacks of his cards everywhere until I got rid of them recently. And I was like, Jose Altuve, what a great guy. But then as a father, do I then tell my son, well, he was a cheater, and I'm probably half of his stats now have been inflated by his cheating for the last however many years. But, don't be like Jose Altuve anymore, but kind of still be like him or be like what he used to, but not anymore. It's like, no, he's a scumbag cheater. Let's do something else. Stop supporting a guy like that. So I got rid of all his cards. Like, I had a deep thoughts conversation with my son about what a cheater looks like, and it looks like Jose Altuve, And so, it sucks. But, I did the thing that most people won't do, which is stand on some principle and say, you know what? Cheating is cheating, and I'm not going to reward that by buying his stuff, by going and supporting the card market, buying his jersey, buying Houston Astros, anything. But too many people in America are just a bunch of morons, and they don't have any principles and values and morals anymore. It's plain and simple. They just go ahead and just let them just crap all over them. All right. Yeah, no kidding. They're going to get beamed, all right. That's for sure. All right, yes, Steve. Yeah, man, give me a call anytime, dude. Are you in Indiana? I think David said that he thought you were in Indiana. So are you here somewhere in the state? Henry, I thought football was like it was soccer. Nice. Yeah, I was just saying the same thing, Steve, about this bottle video. Oh, Alex is here dropping them zombie bombs. You better believe it. Yeah, I know, Steve. I used to love Altuve too. It sucks. I got so many Altuve cards. Oh, you're in Nebraska? I guess if you live in Tennessee, Nebraska and Indiana might as well be the same state. How does David get that mixed up? What in the world, dude? Cornhusker and a Hoosier. We are not the same state. All of us white people look the same, I guess. All right. But yeah, so that's one of the things I was thinking about today was like how the Red Sox had zero punishment. They just punished some lowly, videographer, whatever you want to call it, some like techie guy. He got the brunt of it, and everybody else got off scot-free. It's just the guy who's probably making the $30,000 job somehow, gets the crap on. But all the guys that are multimillionaires who benefit from this guy cheating and helping them out, nothing happens to them. I mean, how ridiculous is that? The guy who's been 30 grand a year or 60 grand a year or whatever it is he's making, being their playback operator. I mean, I was trying to be generous. I mean, for all I know, he makes $150,000 a year. I don't know. But he ain't making nowhere near as much as the baseball players that's benefiting from him. He gets crapped on, and rightfully so, but nobody else is going to get punished. I mean, this is like so backwards. It is so backwards, $dollar sign backwards. Oh my gosh, my eyes starting to like twitch. I can speak Japanese. I can speak some Japanese. I'm not as good as I used to be because I haven't been in Japan. I haven't lived in Japan in how's Luca? He's almost 12. So I haven't been in Japan for almost 12 years, I guess. The last time I stepped foot in the land of the rising sun was in 2010, 11, 10. So it's been a while. And his mother's Japanese, as you all probably could expect if you've seen my channel. You've seen him on my channel some. I mean, his mom speaks perfect English, so we rarely speak Japanese to each other anymore because Luca just speaks English as well. So we'll be we played baseball yesterday outside warming up. Hey, what's up, Bottom Line Collector? We're warming up off of a tee just so we can go out and do some exercise. And I mean, we'll be yelling at him in Japanese. I mean, Stan's Japanese, and especially his mom's yelling at him in Japanese, but I will too. And he understands, but he won't speak back to us in Japanese. It's only English. I always give her a hard time and said, you should have been working on him a lot harder than that. It's unacceptable that he's half Japanese and he can't string two sentences together. So the biggest difference between Japanese baseball and American baseball is that Japanese baseball has cheerleaders. They have cheerleaders and they have actual they have cheerleaders on the field at any given time. So between innings, there's cheerleaders. They have how in every baseball team in America has some really rabid fans. And there's certain sections of the stadium where that they're kind of rowdy. And every baseball team probably has that, and some teams have them way bigger than other teams. Like Cincinnati doesn't really have that, so to speak. But one of the big differences in Japan is that every team has a section of the stadium that is dedicated to the hardcore fans, and they have actual songs and chants that they have created over the course of years and maybe decades for their team. And they all know it. The entire sections know it. And they all have these megaphones, and they have these the sticks, where they're called the rally sticks or whatever. And they'll be shouting these songs. And they have the taiko drums, and they go crazy on that. Hey, what's up, Reese? And so that's a big deal. That's a big difference because they'll have that. The other thing that's really popular in Japan that we don't really know about in America is that they actually have Buddhist statues that people pray to when they walk into the stadium to pray for your team to win. Can you imagine going to a Philadelphia Phillies game and Jesus Christ is sitting there waiting for you to pray to? Or you go to a Seattle game, and like a crucifix of Christ is hanging up on the wall somewhere. Like you would never see that in America. People would lose their minds if, like, let's say Chick-fil-A bought the Miami Marlins and then put like a big old Jesus in the middle of the stadium. People would lose their minds. But like, or Hobby Lobby bought the Kansas City Royals and put Jesus with a bunch of little children laying around going, hey, come to me, children. Like, that's never going to happen. But in Japan, they have these Buddhist statues when you walk in where people like give alms and burn incense and clap and pray before their team. So that's a big difference also that you don't have in America. They mix their religion with their sports for sure. So I'm trying to think. I didn't want to skip so many things about that. Hey, I'm glad you're back. Hey, Reese, what's up, my brother? Oh, Josh is here. Wow, this is awesome. They do have a lot of I don't know about sushi giveaway nights, but they have like the other thing in America, every stadium will have like sometimes their specialty foods for their city or their region. In America, like football and baseball, basketball, I'm sure, but especially baseball, you'll go like Cincinnati has Skyline Chili. That's like a big thing there. They also have some kind of there is some sort of other local Chinese restaurant in Cincinnati that's really popular as well. I can't think of it right now off the top of my head, but Skyline's big. And they also do something with a hot dog, like a foot long that's real big in Japan. But it's like all greasy ballpark food, which is nothing wrong with that, but that's the kind of way it is. In Japan, you can get like actual meals. Like you can get like a 3-course meal at the restaurants. And it's not crazy expensive, shockingly, because everything in Japan's expensive. So you can get like sushi, you can get all these like noodle dishes and rice dishes while you're there. I mean, it's like sitting at like a Japanese restaurant, but you're at a baseball game. Where in America, it's a lot of like more hand, like just like one hand type of plates that you hold on to. In Japan, it's like almost like a set. So that's a big difference too, for sure. No, I wasn't in the military. I taught English in Japan, off and on for 12 years. So I started going in 1998 to Japan after I graduated high school. And then I lived and worked there until 2010. So 12 years. But not every year. I mean, some years I didn't go. Some years I was also an interpreter for the deaf in America. So I worked with the special needs departments in Indiana and Kentucky in the public school system. So I usually went to Japan in the summers or extended breaks. And then I went over there and lived for a couple years also. But it wasn't like 12 straight years. I always say, if you took all the time I lived in Japan, you put it together, it was probably like 3 to 4 years. If I took all the time I went and stuck it together over a 12-year period. It wasn't 12 consecutive years. But I taught English when I lived in Japan. I also taught English when I lived in Korea and when I lived in China. So for sure, just to kind of give you some information, not that you care that much, dude, but just to answer your question. Well, thanks, Steve. I think we're all pretty awesome myself. If I do say so. Alex, Josh, all those guys. Yeah, Reese, bottom on. Yep. Alex, who else is anybody else? Reese, me, of course. I mean, obviously, I'm the best. I mean, that goes without saying. But yes, I mean, that's what it's all about, dude. I mean, just I was just saying that earlier in the video. It's all about supporting each other. And I was saying I don't watch a lot of the older YouTube guys anymore. I'm watching a lot of you newer guys. I'm enjoying the energy from you new guys. I'm enjoying what you're bringing to the hobby. A lot of the older guys are just doing the same old, and I'm not really as interested anymore. I mean, most of my friends obviously know who I am and know me. I still watch their stuff. But a lot of the guys I used to watch pretty religiously, I've kind of moved away from for a multitude of reasons. But I just enjoy watching the guys that are like doing something new, doing something fresh, just having fun. And it's not just getting stale like a stale banana. So I don't like stale bananas. I turn those into banana bread. So, man, Henry, you're crashing. Come on now, get with the program. I never heard of GW. Unless we're talking about George W. Bush. Then I know that GW. Yeah. Boba Lewis. Boba, that's such a great drink from the Chinese. Yeah, man. I'm enjoying everybody's, man. I actually reached out to David M today. Him and I've been talking. I had him pass along my information to Steve. Steve's going to contact me. I talked to Reese on the phone. Me and Reese sent me a care package. It's right here. Right here. I'm not going to show off Reese stuff, but it's right here actually so Reese even can see it. I haven't even opened it up yet, dude. I'm waiting for my next video to do it. So I have a bunch of videos I haven't done. I have them in the locked up. I have them all locked up. I have them in the queue. So Reese, I got your package coming up. It might be sometime this weekend. I'm going to show it. Yeah, Yanks fan. He knows about the banana man for sure. But, what about this right here, dude? Here is a card that will keep on giving right there. The San Diego Chicken right there. One sexy card. Oh, dude, I like it, man. Trust me, I'm going to like it. I saw enough of the package to know, like, yeah, this is a real card. Right there, look at the back. 1983 Holmes. Right there. Yeah, dude. I make a reference to that on my video when I talk about this card, Alex. So, yeah, Sean is a great guy, too. For sure. I don't know if he's still here or not. I hang out with Sean now probably more than any other YouTuber because he literally lives an hour and a half away from me. So we're just on the same road. He just a little further north of me. I live around Indianapolis and he lives in Fort Wayne. So he just hops on 69 South and it comes down here and I'll hop on 69 North and head up his way. Yeah. Woo! Peanut butter and jelly time. You better believe it, Henry. Yes. Yeah, you have it? Yeah, you gotta have this, dude. This is legit card, man. You don't get any more awesome than that right there. You do not get any more awesome than that. Yeah, man. It's all about supporting each other, dude. It is all about supporting one another. It definitely is. Here's some of Henry's cards he sent me. I went through them. I don't know if I showed all these cards, but he sent me some like straight up C3PO. That's going to the PC. This card is like I'm super pumped about this one. Right there. That's 1977 sticker right there. Oh, yeah, Luke Skywalker. Thank you, Henry. And then this right here, this looks like it's been through the ringer. You look on the back, it looks like Henry burned this to a crisp or something. He's trying to roll it up. You trying to roll this up, dude? I remember this. They changed this scene in the updated version to make this like a full-on like skeleton, like a whole huge thing. But yeah. And then right here, this is a picture right before Marty McFly did the exact same thing in Back to the Future. But this one right here, he's looking at Marty McFly doing it in 1952, and whatever it was, 1952, whatever. What is it? 1952. What city was it? Hill Valley. There we go. It's Hill Valley. Hill Valley. And then Bob Bob giving me one of the most homoerotic Wolverine cards ever known to man. Is Wolverine actually sticking a wiener on his claw that will find its way into his mouth? I like the way it looks. If you look at his mouth, he's like he's angry, but he's like angry biting it. It's like angry. He's like, arr, arr, wiener. Arr. He's really angry about that wiener. Woo! Wolverine, you better believe that dude. Oh, dude, are you serious? That sucks, man. Yanks for that blows, dude. I'd be so pissed if that happened. And that's happened to me a couple of times on live streams. Thank goodness it's never been on a real video, not to my knowledge, that they've taken it down. But man, that sucks, dude. I hate somebody does all that work showing off something and then they take it down. Oh my gosh, I'd be so fired up. Are you serious, Alex? That skeleton prop's still out there? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That is crazy. I want to go get some. I tried a baseball card that card. Henry. Oh my gosh. Dude, New York Yankees fan, man. He says some hilarious stuff on Mike's channel, man. That cracks me up. Like him and Dave Archer, man. Oh my gosh. You all think that I'm like a little bit rude or matter of fact or a little bit like maybe a jagoff. It feels like a sweetest massage. Some of the things I say that come from me compared to what Yankees fan and Dave Archer says, dude. It's cracking me up. Oh my gosh. The things they say on there, his channel cracks me up, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's still up? Oh, okay. I'm going to check it out. Maybe I'll have to check it out. I guess I have. I thought I went through all your videos, but I might need to go through them again, and I might have missed some. But I thought I went through all your videos because I've really enjoyed getting caught up with your stuff. So, bottom line, Brant, you're the same name as my brother. Why did I forget that? Oh my gosh, I'll try to do better. Please don't judge me too harshly. But yeah, guys, if you ever want to, okay, it's from several years ago. I'll go back and double check. But yeah, guys, if you ever want a good laugh and just somebody's just put it like just saying it how it is, go watch some of those. Don't even watch the Mike's actual chant video. Just pause it and then go look at the comment section. And the stuff that Dave Archer and Yanks fan says cracks me up, man. Seriously, it'll make you laugh. Like I was like laughing literally like 20 minutes later at some of the stuff they said. Oh my gosh, it cracks me up because it's like so snarky. Like mine's more like a blunt hammer just hitting. There's more like British snarkyism. So snarky. It's way better than I did. I could ever do. But yeah, it cracks me up for sure. But I'm gonna go get me something to drink, guys. I'll be right back, so don't miss me too much. I'm still here. Don't cry. Ugh. All right. I'm back, so don't worry. I don't remember, dude. It was something you said over the last week or two, I think. For sure, because I went back and read your comment. Because I always like look through and see if anybody else is saying anything that I'm thinking. And I'm like, every time it feels like you say something and Dave Archer, and I'm like, that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah. I have to go back and take screenshots and send it. Hold on, I don't got your text. I don't have your phone number. But I'll have to get it to you, or maybe I can email it to you or something. But yeah, there's some pretty funny stuff. Yeah, BBC baseball collector. Yeah, that's it. I always think about other inappropriate things when I think of BBC. All right, I feel like a human again. It's not malice. It's just funny things that you say. It's just like you're just stating some like the things that he's trying to get across. You're like, no. It's just like the way you say like matter of fact things. It is I don't know. Maybe the way I read it is just different. But you and Dave Archer, like I said, always like find pretty hilarious. All right, let's take a look here. What did I miss? Oh yeah, gonna do some buying, Henry. Bye. Let's see here. Has anybody seen the movie that came out this past year called The Gentleman? The new Guy Ritchie movie. It has like Matthew McConaughey in it, Hugh Grant, Charlie Hunnam. I think that's pretty much the main people in it. Oh, Colin Farrell, dude. I watched that yesterday. It is awesome, dude. Seriously, my top movie of 2020 so far. I know it's only April, but so far it's my top movie of this year. It is absolutely awesome. I highly recommend it. As I wrote my review on my Facebook page, my little mini review, Guy Ritchie out Tarantino'd Quentin Tarantino, which is hard to do because I'm a big Tarantino fan. But this movie, he out Tarantino'd him, which you would think is impossible. But Guy Ritchie shockingly was able to do it. Back to whacking to the tool shed. All right, we'll have fun with that, dude. Don't be putting the camera on you if you're gonna be doing any of that kind of stuff going on. I like Inglourious Basterds too. Here's the thing: I don't like Eli Roth, and Eli Roth unfortunately has somewhat of a pretty big character in that movie. But Eli Roth sucks as an actor, and even worse as a director. So it's hard for me to watch sometimes and stuff. I don't know if you all know who that even is, but Eli Roth is a character. He goes by the name Jew Bear in Inglourious Basterds, the Jew Bear. He's the one who's from Boston, who comes out of the cave with the baseball bat, walking towards the German soldier. I mean, that scene's actually pretty cool. I'll give him credit, but that has nothing to do with Eli Roth. It has everything to do with Tarantino. But yeah, I just can't get on board with that guy. Probably my favorite movie of all time from Quentin is Devil's Rejects. What? Django Unchained. By far, Django is my favorite movie. And then probably, oh my gosh, I don't know. Probably Kill Bill and Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Hateful Eight. I don't know. Hateful Eight might be up in there too somewhere. Death Proof. Jackie Brown. Kill Bill Volume 2 is probably at the bottom. So, yeah. Yeah, I love Django, dude. Great acting. Revisionist history, which I don't like in real life, but in movies, I love it, especially when the way Quentin Tarantino does it, because it's so over the top. I mean, he's big about his revisionist history. I mean, goes back to Inglourious Basterds for sure. I mean, you know, but yeah, Reservoir Dogs, man. You know, it's kind of weird. Some of you younger people, I don't know how young some of you all are, but for us guys in our 40s, when Reservoir Dogs came out in 1992, that kind of storytelling, where it was non-linear storytelling, where bits and pieces of the stories were all jumbled up, had never really been done before. I think Quentin Tarantino gives credit to some French filmmaker doing it first. Maybe I'm not for sure, but that kind of storytelling in America had never really been done before. And I remember sitting in the theater at the Jeff Ford Plaza in the 90s. I'm middle school age, but they didn't care about how old you were back in the olden days. And I remember thinking, like, what is happening here? Because the way it opens up, the movie's already started. The guy's been shot. He's bleeding out the back of the car. Mr. Oranges. Mr. White's trying to calm him down. And then, like, the story's unfolding before you even get to the story. Now it seems like commonplace. Everybody does stuff like that. But the first time that was ever done, to my knowledge, at least done well in a major movie, was Tarantino. For sure. Don't get me started on movies, guys. It'll just be me and him and myself talking. Everybody will leave. Oh, Rose McGowan and not Burt Reynolds. You talking about Kurt Russell? There's a vintage figure of Quentin Tarantino from Star Wars. What? Whatever. I ain't no millennial. Get out of here, Henry. Millennials are like the mid 80s or something. I was born in 78. Not a millennial, dude. By far from a millennial. But yeah, Kurt Russell. Yeah, I like Death Proof. A lot of people didn't like Death Proof. A lot of people didn't like the Grindhouse movie. I think it was just too far advanced for your regular moviegoer. A Grindhouse movie, no one understands what that is unless you're really a film fan, and especially a fan of subversive cinema from the 70s and exploitation. No one's going to know what that is in the normal movie public. And when somebody was told a movie is like 3 hours long, almost 4 hours long, and it's two different directors with two different movies with fake trailers in the beginning and the middle with a connection with both films, they're like, what? Like no one understands that unless you're a true cinephile. But I liked it. I liked Death Proof way better than I liked whatever you call it, Planet Terror. Even though I like Planet Terror fine, I just thought the CGI was just way too much CGI for me with all the zombies blowing up or whatever. I just was like, all right, we got a little bit too much going on here. Okay, well, even then, if it started in 1980, I still beat it by 2 years. Don't be giving me a hard time, people. I'm at the cusp. Yes. Tarantino did a film short with oh, that's cool. I didn't know that, Henry. You need to do one of your next videos. You need to show that commercial if you can find it, that little short film, and put it in one of your videos. Just a little snippet. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, there's a creepy E.T. movie from like Poland, if you know what I mean, from back in the 80s. If you want to see a creepy E.T. movie, for sure. Yeah, I guess. But don't you ever put me in the millennial category, guys. No way. My eyes starting to twitch even thinking about that. That's a good way for me to start. You see me get all emotional and cry right here. See you later, Steve. Give me a call sometime. Have your people call my people. Oh my gosh. I won a card lot of 2 relic cards. I was just trying to get the Scott Rowland, but this Jim Thome must have came with it as a Phillies Jim Thome relic card. Yeah, you found my trigger, guys. You found my trigger. Oh my gosh. There's only a handful of things that irk me. That's one of them. And I don't mean it in a negative, mean way. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm going to get mad. It just cracks me up. That and when people say that the biggest city in Kentucky, and everybody says, oh, you're talking about Louisville? And I'm like, no, I'm talking about Louisville. When people say Louisville, it makes me crazy. Or even worse, if they say Louisville, I'm like, what is wrong with you? That is not how you pronounce it. You pronounce it Louisville. That's how you say it. That's how you know if you're local or not. And how you know if you're a true blue Louisvillian or you're somebody who's impersonating. You're perpetrating a stereotype. So that is how you know. When I went down this past weekend, I was like, so great to be back in Louisville. Not Louisville, not Louisville. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. And that's okay. I would be more than happy to say, yeah, I'm going to go down to Louisville, Georgia. That's fine because that's how you pronounce it. But that is not how you say it for Louisville. No one says Louisville, Kentucky, or Louisville, Kentucky. And if you do, you ain't from around these parts, boy. Boy, you got a pretty mouth. But if you're from there, you would say Louisville. So I take that. Them be fighting words. Let me just say. Them be fighting words. Man, these cards are going to fall off my table. Let me move them up here. There we go. Life with Louie. Man, I got so many cards I need to go through. Jeez Louise. I'm going to be here forever trying to put these cards in my trading card database. I'm trying to get rid of cards too, so it's going to be a nonstop thing. Oh, man. So is there any other topics we're going to talk about today, guys? Anything else we want to chat about? Oh, yeah. Oregon has been Oregon. Oh, my gosh. Oregon. And, how do people say, and I mean, sometimes you just don't know, and that's fine. That's when I want people to tell me, if you're from Tennessee and West Virginia, don't be messing with my Oregon. Yeah, there we go, Oregon. What we would say in Indiana, we would say the Appalachian Mountains. But if you're from there, I've heard many people say Appalachia Mountains. It's Appalachia. Not Appalachian, Appalachia. And I remember when I was there visiting in Gatlinburg and going to Cherokee, North Carolina, and I would say, what's the best place to look for such and such in the Appalachian Mountains? The best view. And they're like, you mean the Appalachian Mountains? And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, so we're in the Appalachian Mountains and I'm looking for the best view in North Carolina. And they're like, so if you're looking at the Appalachian Mountains, the best view is so-and-so. I'm like, okay. So I learned that you need to say Appalachia, at least by some of the local standards, and not Appalachian. So it's like Bob Louisville. Yes. Bob Louisville. That's for sure. And then what about New Orleans? Do you say New Orleans? Nolans? What's the right way to say it? I always say New Orleans. New Orleans. Or Nolans. I always think, what is the most proper way to pronounce that city so you don't sound like such a tourist, but actually sound like you're from that area, or at least you're trying to attempt to pronounce it. Nolans, is that correct? Boston Root Sox. Boston Root Sox. Oh, yeah, Washington. Oh, man. That's a problem, I think, all over the South. Oh, yeah, I'm going down to Washington, D.C., go see the president. I'm going to go down to George Washington's residence in Virginia. Washington. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's a thing in Indiana, southern Indiana especially. I'm going down to Mount Washington. I'm on fire for the Lord in Mount Washington, Washington Olive Baptist Church. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's a thing. I know I've said this before, but one time I was in college, and it doesn't, just because you don't pronounce something the way a cultured person would pronounce something does not mean you're ignorant. Not at all, because I mispronounce words all the time, and I would like to think that I'm not super ignorant, just a little bit ignorant. But I remember one time I had my professor in college, and he kept on saying there was a oral crisis in the 1970s, and that was crippling America. And I'm like, an oral crisis? And I'm like, what in the world? I mean, this was going on for the entire period, the whole hour and 10 minutes or whatever. And I'm like, did we run out of dentists? Why is there such an oral crisis? Because Did we not get enough dentists through school, dental school? Was there like everybody had bad teeth? Like, what's going on here? Was the dentist game being like taken away and like, I don't know, like dental hygienists were taking charge? Were they not being able to do it? And then I realized he was not saying an oral crisis. He was trying to say an oil crisis. And I was like, oh, that makes more sense. An oil crisis in the 1970s. And that made more sense of what we were talking about. I was like, what in the world is an oil crisis? But now, and I'll never forget that for as long as I live, I was like, why are we talking about an oral crisis in our economics class or history class or whatever it was? But it wasn't about dental schools and dentists. It was about actual oil. Just the way he pronounced the word oil was oral. Yes. And the other way people pronounce the name Troy is Tony. This is very true. And little did Tony the Tiger know, Tony the Tiger Rudder know that. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, I'm gonna get hit off of here. It's been an hour and a half, or almost close to it. But I will let you all go. Brandon, that's hilarious. That's a problem, dude. Hopefully she's still your girlfriend. But that's hilarious. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Peace out.